Hello. Yes, my name is Jamie Lester, and a lot of people know me now as that bloke from The Apprentice, but I can assure you that bloke from The Apprentice, at the age of 24, started a business from his bedroom, and within 2.5 years, I'd made £1 million. Now, I'm really aiming at the young, aspiring entrepreneurs, and I get people, I have, since being on The Apprentice, my fan base tends to be anything from 11-year-olds to 19-year-olds, which is brilliant. But there's all this energy that they want to go into business. And is there a magic formula, or is there something that I do differently? And I don't really know the answers. All I know is what I did when I started at 15 years old. And that was, at the age of 15, I started working for an estate agent because I wanted to wear a suit, I wanted to look smart, and I wanted to be in business. At the age of 16, when I didn't do very well in my GCSEs, and I sort of quietly left school, consciously though, because by the age of 16, I had worked in property for a year. Only Saturdays, but I knew I loved the job, and I knew I wanted to be my boss. At the age of 16, I absorbed, I sponged in all the environment around me, but I still wanted to become my bosses. By the age of 17, I had my driving license, and that's when I could really start chasing my bosses. By the age of 20, I was doing very well, well enough to buy my first property. By the age of 22, I bought my second property and rented my first property out. By the age of 24, I realized that the name above the door was earning much more money than I was. However, by the age of 24, and it's a scary thought that I had been working for 8 years, but I kind of had the confidence that I knew what I was doing. And my boss, the person above the door, they weren't there to guide me on a daily basis. I was making the decisions, I was doing the selling, and essentially I was running the business. So at the age of 24, when the evening came and I finished my day job, I started to look at the marketplace, and it was crowded. It was a very sophisticated, a very advanced marketplace. But I knew what I was doing during the day was making my boss a lot of money, and I also knew that the name above the door wasn't that strong to win that business. And it was the person in the ground, the person picking up the phone and doing the deals was actually the one making all the business. So I sold one of my properties. I self-funded my first business. And I sold one of my properties. I had about £20,000. And by this time, at the age of 24, I had a sports car, I had a couple of properties, and I had a beautiful girlfriend. But I had a lifestyle. And I continued to pay myself a salary because I set myself a goal. I did not want to sell my sports car. I did not want to have to get an evening or a Saturday job. I just wanted to make my business work. And I had 3 months. It was a very basic shopping list of £20,000. I would continue to pay myself a £2,000 a month salary. I continued to go out and I bought, what I wanted to buy. By the end of the 3 months, and I had to buy my website and a bit of marketing and what have you. But by the end of the 3 months, I'm pleased to report that I never got a Saturday job. I never had to sell my car, and I never had to adjust my lifestyle. And within months, it had taken off. Because I looked and I surveyed the marketplace, and I saw a little corner in a very busy marketplace where I could make a difference. And within months, and then within 12 months, 18 months, I really had started to stretch my legs, moved out of my bedroom, hired office, hired staff, and all very quickly, I had an office here in the UK, in London Hammersmith. I had an office, 3 offices overseas, one in Sweden, two in Cyprus. And I was targeting Scandinavian expat markets over in the UAE, as well as us British. I've advertised in every single national newspaper going on weekends during the week to sell my business, to sell my services. Fast forward, went on to the credit crunch came along. People are questioning why I did it. Well, the credit crunch came along, and my business was quickly dried up. And I decided that what I had learnt was invaluable, but there were certain startup decisions that were not particularly good. So I decided to draw a clean line under it. The experience that I have bottled and I'm now referring to is invaluable, and I'm more than happy to, when the young people especially come up to me and ask me advice, I'm more than happy to give my penny's worth. Went on to The Apprentice. We'll skip that bit. But listen, I was a finalist. I was very proud of my time, but I took my morals that I took in real life and I just put it into the boardroom. And then what I'm doing now is I've decided to launch my own estate agency. I hate estate agents, by the way, but I am starting my own property company, which will, in this room, be called Estate Agency. But I have again, I think, seen a very nice niche market where for some reason no one's taken advantage of. In my opinion, the estate agency market is still 20 years behind. The websites have made it a bit more sophisticated, but the practice certainly isn't. And I'm adding value to my service. And I'm very excited to launch my office in Fulham in the next month, and then in Chiswick a couple of weeks after that. And I will once again confident to bring something new to the market, and I'm really excited. Thank you very much.